everybody, it's Will, and welcome to another episode of the Work and Talk podcast, the podcast for tradespeople by tradespeople. And this week we have Andrea O'Connell, that electrician chick, and today we're going to take a deep dive into how she became who she is today. Andrea, how are you?
Hi, Will. I'm good. How are you?
I can't complain. We're in beautiful, sunny Florida, and we actually have the opportunity to now jump into your life because we wanted to see where you came from, how you became who you are, and also what do you recommend for the next generation coming into the trades. So it's all for you. Tell us, how'd you become who you are today?
So I originally grew up in Minnesota near Lake Minnetonka. So always been around water. You know, people think frozen Minnesota, but there's actually a ton of lakes and, you know, beautiful areas. It just was a little cold for me. So growing up in Minnesota, I went to high school, then immediately left for college, came down to Tampa, Florida for college, and intended on going back, came for fashion, not at all trades. I mean, working with my hands, but definitely not tools like that. So intended on going back, but fell in love with the weather here in Florida. I have never been happier. I love to live in the sunshine and go to the beach all the time. So this was my new home and started a family, got married, and then in 2017 became a single mom.
Okay.
And
Wow.
that's where my journey kind of jumps into getting in the trades.
Interesting. I appreciate that, especially with the whole change of pace coming from Minnesota to Florida. And then usually, you know, as a trade school, we're telling people, hey, there's other opportunities out there rather than college. But you went down the college path.
I did.
So you wanted, how was that like? Because especially now looking in retrospect from speaking on behalf of the trades, what was that experience like of college to you, looking at it in retrospect?
So it was, I always was interested in fashion. So for me, it was easy to find that passion and go for that career. Did a fast track, did 18 months instead of 2 years. So I didn't take any summer vacation during that education. But when I got into the field that I went to school for, I loved the job. I didn't care for the people.
Understood.
It was something that I didn't realize getting into that industry. It's very materialistic. It doesn't offer the genuine, down-to-earth demeanor that a lot of blue-collar people have. So now looking back, I love fashion. I still love to express myself with fashion. I just don't necessarily belong in that industry because I'm not a materialistic person. I don't put value on that. I mean, as opposed to, like, it doesn't matter what kind of car you drive or what kind of handbag you carry. It's just, what do you like? What do you enjoy?
That's interesting because a lot of people get caught up with the idea of coming into college for, hey, this is the promises college is made for us. This is what it takes to be successful. You went into college without a doubt, probably hearing the type of lifestyle you have, and that comes from fashion.
Yeah.
But at least you were passionate about what you were working with.
Yeah.
A lot of people go into college for the success without having that passion. So a lot of people get caught up in it. They switching electives every year because they haven't found their passion.
Right.
So a takeaway already is you like to follow where your passion leads.
And where my heart leads as
I like
well,
that.
because like it was just the atmosphere. Like when you feel like you belong, like you're with the people that you're supposed to be working with, like don't fight it if it's not for you just for the paycheck. Was I making good money after I got that degree? Yeah, I was. I was making great money for somebody being young and 20 years old. But I was leaving work crying most days because I genuinely didn't enjoy the atmosphere that I was a part of. The corporate rat race is not for me. Do some people thrive in that industry? Yes, they do. And it's absolutely for them. And I'm not discrediting that you can be successful in those industries. It just personally wasn't for me, and I was not willing to trade my happiness for a paycheck.
Wow, that's interesting. I really like that.
So I went back to business administration, which was always my fallback. I always helped people run their businesses.
Okay. And then from that aspect, how did the trades come into play? Was there, because that's a big,
Total opposite ends of the spectrum.
I've never heard someone go from fashion to blue collar.
Yeah.
So there had to be a transition period,
Yes.
or was it cold turkey?
It started cold turkey.
Okay,
Yes.
Can you walk us through that?
So 2017, got a divorce, became a single mom. I was also a homeowner. So there was a lot of things that I was going through emotionally, physically, trying to learn about being a single mom, being the provider, being, you know, the masculine and the feminine needed for a household to run.
Wow.
So a friend of mine was a general contractor, and he had to let his helper go. And he knew I was working from home at that time, and he called me up and said, hey, I need your help. Can you hold boards for a couple of days? I'm finishing up this project, and I just need somebody to help me get it to the finish line. So I'm like, yeah, sure, why not? I got a couple of days. So show up, I help him build this handrail. He's like, okay, do this, do that. After 3 days, I was like, this is kind of interesting. Like, I might be able to apply some of this to how do I fix my own home. I was not mechanically inclined. I knew very little about tools. I could mow my lawn, that was about it. And after those 3 days, he said, do you want to come back? Do you want to keep coming back? And I was like, yeah, I do actually. And so those 3 days turned into 4 years of carpentry and general labor and painting and learning all of these different skills to fix homes, but we never did electricity. That was something that he always subbed out to his guy, that he had a reliable electrician. So anytime he needed anything done electrical, he would sub it out to that guy. And so my brain started going, I want to know what's inside the walls. I want to know what's going on. How does this stuff work? Like, I knew enough to be dangerous. And when I got to school to shadow, to visit the program, they're like, why are you here? Like, what? Like, I was the only woman in the room. And they're like, why are you here? What's the purpose of this?
Yeah.
And I said, I know enough to be dangerous, and I want to learn how to be safe. And that's what started my journey into electricity back in 2021.
Wow. There's so many key takeaways that I think is so valuable for people listening. And I want to go back to 2017. I want to go back to the first time when he said, hey, can you help me hold boards?
Yeah.
Because you can say that was like a pivotal moment for you.
Yeah.
This person who asked you, that was a GC, family friend, father figure, just
friend.
Friend.
Yep.
What I appreciate about that is, did he have the intent of bringing you into the trades, or was it just from a place of need, like, hey, help?
No, it's purely just a place of need. And it wasn't until we spent those 3 days on site, he saw my work ethic. I mean, setting up and taking down a job site. I was willing to work hard. You know, I wasn't afraid of the physical labor aspect of it, where like we got dirty. We had to use tools.
Yeah.
I was hauling material. And I guess some people aren't just excited and willing to do those things. And so he saw that willingness and that excitement in me and was like, hey, you know, is this something that you might want to keep doing? Because ultimately he still had to find another helper.
Correct. Yeah.
Because it was just the 3 of us. It ended up being just 3 of us for the next several years.
And what I love about that is, because me, speaking for myself as a business owner, let's say we have a job that's coming up and we have to get it done. And I go through the list of my friends who can help me, for example, or just like let's say you're a new homeowner or you just moving out into your own place and you have to make a list of friends to help you move.
Yeah.
I wouldn't go straight to the ex fashion designer
No.
to
No.
help me move.
Yeah.
I would be thinking, let's get my college husky guys out
Yeah.
here. You
Yeah.
know, I'll buy them out some pizza and then we can help move. I'm trying to figure out, like, once again, that wasn't even a calling that should have gone towards you.
No.
Like on normal conditions is what I'm trying to say.
I think it was purely that he knew I was working from home, like I was doing my own thing, and it was an availability.
That's amazing, because then that availability, that opportunity changed literally your whole life.
My entire life.
Because then we also spoke about how the trades affected you as an individual.
Yes.
Especially during that time, you know, the trades gave you that like release almost, right? You talked about like the different, just the work life is completely different. How did that affect you, like, and help out in your life?
So not only did it teach me skills that I had never had before in my life. I didn't know how to fix anything. It opened up that mechanical side of my brain with the ability to take things apart and then understand how they were supposed to go back together.
Yep.
And when you don't have that knowledge, it can create fear, which prior to joining the trades, I had a ton of fear in my life because I didn't know who I could rely on, who I could call if something did break. It was just that constant, like, I'm a homeowner and I don't know anything about fixing my home.
Yeah.
So stuff starts to break and you're just like, oh my gosh, what do I do? Who do I call? I don't even know somebody.
Yeah.
Like, it's expensive.
Yes.
It's hard to find reliable people. There's so many variables that go into who you can trust to fix your home. I mean, it's your livelihood. It's where you raise your family. You know, you hear all these horror stories of people hiring the wrong contractor or getting somebody who comes and does something that's not right. So I wanted to learn from people that I felt did the job right, cared about their, you know, their product and what they were giving homeowners.
I like that.
And then getting into electricity, I wanted to be formally educated because I wanted to make sure that I was doing things the right way, not just being told like, oh, well, this is how we do it.
Yeah. And I like that because you're also showing the respect you have for electricity. Like you said, you know that it's dangerous.
Oh my gosh, it can kill you.
Yeah, yeah. And that's so interesting that you had that mutual respect. Well, not mutual, because electricity just treats everybody the same. It's an equal opportunity.
Yes.
But you had that respect for electricity. You wanted to take the courses. But why electrical? Because people can say, you know, because I go back to your story in 2021, you're like, I want to understand what goes behind the walls. You can say plumbing's behind the walls too.
Yeah.
What made electrical stand out in itself? Just the danger of it?
No, actually, it was the ability to do the job on my own.
Okay.
Because there's so many different avenues you can take in electricity. You don't
Correct.
always have to do commercial or industrial, or you know, you can choose to do residential. I always recommend that you learn the commercial and industrial side of it because it makes residential that much easier to understand. But building decks and docks and doing home remodeling, which is what I did for those 4 years in carpentry, that was a lot of physical manual labor on a daily basis.
Yeah.
I didn't see myself...
And you're in the elements too.
Yeah, I didn't see myself being able to do that by myself at my age.
Understood.
It was a longevity thing for me. I was looking,
I was wondering what was that thing,
Yep.
and now I see that you're looking long term.
Yes, because I got
love
into the trades in my late 30s, I didn't have the opportunity to spend 15 years and that, you know,
figuring it out.
Yes, exactly.
And then deciding. Yep.
Yep.
I love that about you because you're showing that you're taking, once again, very few people look long term, especially when it comes to the trades. And that's it. I know we're going to touch on it later, but that's exactly one of my main concerns with the next generation. They don't want to look long term.
Yeah.
But the best people I have ever spoken to, broke bread with, they all come into the position like what we talked about last night, the longevity.
Yes.
What's down the road. Brandon, the solar goat, Rudy, the right wire. They didn't know what they had to do yet, but they knew long term it would pay off.
Yeah.
So the fact that there's opportunities coming into something brand new, you can still be accountable. You can still hold yourself accountable by where your vision is or what you have in store for yourself. Because no one can tell you, hey, you are going to do this and this is what's going to happen. They can explain, but you, at the end of the day, you have to take that initiative.
It's my actions. And
so you coming in, not just winging it,
yeah,
but you coming in saying, okay, hey, if this is where life is taking me, let's take full advantage of it, X, Y, Z, instead of just worrying about, I'm just going to do docs today. I'm just going to do, no, you look long term.
No, it was definitely a combination factor, because not only was it providing me a way to provide for my family, but I was building a skill that was going to provide value to my own life on a whole nother level. Like, from the outside in, I was looking at the blue collar community going, all of these men provide beautiful lives for their families.
Yes.
Like, a lot of their wives don't even have to work. They get to stay home with their kids, which is also a beautiful life. I have 2 kids of my own. And so I wanted to be able to provide that type of lifestyle for at least my kids. If I couldn't be a stay-at-home mom, I wanted to give my kids a good life, financially secure, you know, emotionally secure, by understanding and knowing that their mom was going to be able to fix anything that broke in the house, or, you know, provide financially for anything that they might need. I mean, when I say that a lot of my anxiety completely disappeared after joining the trades, the mental health solutions that the trades gave me, I wasn't expecting that.
Wow.
That wasn't something that I went into going, oh yeah, this is going to make me feel better about myself. But
it was a positive side effect.
through the journey, it created such a solid foundation for me, knowing who I am on the inside and what I'm, you know, physically, mentally, and emotionally capable of doing. I could never have been prepared for that. And I wish more people could feel that. Like, I did a podcast with Leah from the Sparky Life, and she touched on me with the statistic that the largest group of people in poverty are single moms. And that really hit, because 4, 5, 6 years ago, I was part of that group. I was in that statistical group, being a single mom, just trying to make ends meet, figuring it out, you know, accepting assistance because I qualified for it. Like, that's a tough place to be, and it's also a tough spot to get out of.
Yes.
And the trades provided me that opportunity. Nobody handed it to me.
Exactly.
I had to do the hard work to get myself there, but it is possible, and you gain so much along the way that they don't tell you, oh, you're going to learn a trade. That's what they tell you when you join skilled trades, is you're going to learn a trade. They don't tell you the emotional and, you know, physical transformation that you go through during that process. So that's why I like to advocate for the trades now.
And that's what I love about your experience, because not only are you speaking from somewhere where it hits home to you, literally hits home.
Yeah.
But that, and I feel like this is going to start leading into our accountability discussion.
Yes.
Because people can tell you that. You can tell and advocate for the trades all you want, but at the end of the day, it still takes the individual to make that their own.
Yeah.
And actually take a deep dive into it. And on top of that, it's the expression, you can lead a horse to water, but you can't
make it drink.
Exactly. So you're advocating for it. You see the benefits on your own. Do you think this is something the youth coming in, or the next generation, or even the current generation who are listening, do you think that's something just words can help them, or is it something you believe that maybe they have to try it out for themselves?
I think it could be a combination, because some people, like with all the DIY stuff that happens on social media, there's probably a lot of people who love doing at-home projects.
Yes.
You know, look it up on YouTube, stuff like that. If those are things that you love doing, why not make a career out of it? But if you're not sure, the trades, I feel like, is easy enough to try it for a year to see if you like it, because it's not signing up for a huge financial commitment. It's
True.
not like college. You get paid while you learn, and ultimately what you learn in that year is still a skill that nobody can take away from you.
Even if you don't like it.
Even if you decide that it's not for you and you'd rather go down the college path, because trades isn't for everybody, college isn't for everybody. I feel like college is always more successful if you go into it knowing exactly what you want to do, and like you have a plan.
Have that roadmap.
But I don't recommend going to college if you're just not sure and you think you'll figure it out when you get there, because you might end up $125,000 in debt at the end of your 4 years and still not be sure what you're doing.
I agree.
But after 4 years of trade education, you've made $125,000.
Yeah.
So for me,
Exactly.
it's kind of a no-brainer. But when I went to high school, they didn't push trades. Really, I mean, it was an option, but they didn't push trade school, especially not for women.
Yeah. Yeah.
You
no,
know, it was, you know,
I remember
if
we
you're a
touched
man,
on
you
that,
can
yep.
get into the trades, but they especially didn't push it for women. That was just not something that, you know, the late 90s and early 2000s was about, getting women into the trades. It was always a very masculine field, which, yeah, I mean, I'm sure that there was women in the trades back then, but it wasn't highlighted how it is now, because we have social media available to us to share this information freely.
I love that. I love that. And everything that you've been saying, not only have you been speaking on it, but you've been applying it in your own life.
Yeah.
You see the positive benefits in your own life. What's your relationship with the trades with your kids? Is this something you're going to advocate for them?
Yes.
Or are you going to give them the opportunity to say, hey, if you have that roadmap and you want to go to college, okay, cool.
Yeah.
Because
Both.
have you already thought about how that conversation is ever going to play out, or?
My daughter is 16, and
That's right. Okay.
so
Yep.
college stuff is already coming in the mail.
Yeah.
She is a sophomore in high school, and I didn't realize how early college starts nowadays for these kids. I mean, some of her classmates are even doing, you know, like the dual enrollment or the early college.
Yep, the AP classes.
Right.
Yep.
So that's where she's at. She's in all AP classes, and she's, you know, earning some college credits while she's in high school. And I've told her that I think it would be a great idea if she explored a trade for 1 year before deciding to go to college. It may not be for her. I'm still going to advocate for it, you know, as a possibility that it would be something that I would be proud of her for.
Yeah.
Like, I think with a lot of kids, they start choosing their career path because they want to make their family proud, or they want to, you know, I want to do what my parents do, or whatever. But there's nothing wrong with joining the trades.
I love that.
It takes skill, it takes knowledge, it takes ability. There's nothing, my kids are so proud when people ask them what their parents do for a living. My kids are so proud to say that their mom is an electrician.
Oh, wow.
I didn't think about that part of it. I went into it just wanting to have a steady income that provided for me and my family. I didn't think that it was going to make my kids proud the way that it does.
And that's what I love about these opportunities that come in. Once again, I keep referring back to other individuals that we had on the podcast, and they all said the same thing. They never knew this would be a possibility coming into the trades. So now, pivoting that back to you, you came in you never knew this was going to blow up. You never knew what the outcome was. But you sat down, you say, hey, if we're going to try this out, let's go all in.
Yeah.
You made that roadmap. I
Yep.
love it. Now you're taking action. Now you're advocating for it. Perfect. You're living by example. You're bringing your kids into it. You're having those hard conversations with them now instead of winging it later. Beautiful. That all led to who you are as a person, as an individual, as a role model now. Let's jump into how did that electrician chick come in? Because were you that deck chick before, or were you that remodel girl before? Where did this
I
come
was
up?
deck girl.
Oh, so you really had another name.
The guys that I work with, they started calling me deck girl.
Okay, I didn't know that. Was that like, no, but genuine, your Instagram handle too?
Yeah. But
really?
But it wasn't when reels were a thing. So if you go on my social media and you
That's
scroll
hilarious.
all the way to the very beginning, you can see the projects that I worked on back in 2017, 2018,
hilarious.
2019, and into COVID. But reels didn't become a thing until, I feel like COVID is maybe when that started happening,
Yeah.
because it was that need for that live interaction, watching people, not just seeing a picture.
Yep.
So my very first job site was a multi-unit residential condominium building.
Okay.
2 of them, actually. They were huge. I was so overwhelmed. The guys that I worked with, all from the company that, you know, I work with currently, after a few weeks were like, "Hey, you're pretty good at this. You should start putting some of this stuff on social media." And I'm like, "Nah, I don't know about, like, I mean, I
And
was
we're talking about the electrical or still
yes,
with the deck?
no, electrical."
Okay.
So I'm like, you know, like, it's kind of for young people. Like, I don't know. I was in my late 30s, and I'm like, I don't know. I don't know if that's a good idea.
Yeah.
But they kind of kept hinting that, you know, there's a lot more out there than just the likes and the follows. And I'm like, okay, all right, we'll give it a shot. So we recorded a couple of things, and a few months later, it started blowing up. And I was like, oh my gosh, okay, people are really seeing this stuff.
Yeah.
And the whole, like, that electrician chick, and I used the little chicken. Well, I actually have chickens at home. So that was kind of how it all just came full circle, that I was able to use my little chicken.
Yeah.
And so, you know, because chick is like, I don't know, some people think of it as, it could be a derogatory thing, like, oh, she's just this chick. But, like, no, it actually is because I have chickens at home. So
That's
it fits
funny.
into my entire personality, and I've been able to, like, weave all these things together. But I never realized that I could reach people and have an impact.
Yeah. I love that and your example, because one, it's genuine. It's who you are. It's authentic. It's raw. And once again, tying back to other individuals, and it's so funny that there's so many patterns with not just you. I'm just saying, like, hey, you content creators are all the same. But the reason why I genuinely appreciate you, why I think a lot of people appreciate you guys, is how authentic and genuine you are.
Yeah.
Like you said, chicks. I raise chicks. I don't know if you heard the podcast with Brandon, the solar goat. What I loved about Brandon is he goes, people think I call myself the solar goat because I'm trying to say I'm the greatest of all time.
No, it's because an actual goat is, like,
Yes.
living on the hillside, and he lives on
And he
roofs.
loves goats. And he goes, I love goats.
Yeah.
So it's like so funny. It's like
Yeah.
people think I'm trying to be like this cocky macho guy. And he goes, no, I genuinely love goats.
Yeah.
And he goes, I didn't think about it till after I posted it. And then I started getting the hate from it.
Yeah.
And he's like, oh,
Yeah.
no, I mean it like the mountainside,
Yeah.
you know, like
Yep.
on uneven surfaces.
Mhm.
And I thought that was so funny because
Yeah.
it's like and then once again, he came in from a genuine, it completely went over his head because he's like, that's not what I was trying to, so he was so far from the idea of like me trying to be this macho cocky guy that he didn't even think goat would offend people.
Yeah.
So that funny, and you coming in thinking like, oh, it's a derogatory term to call a woman a chick, and then you're like, no, I genuinely like chicks.
Yeah.
You know, and I raise them.
But on site, it started as, where's that electrician girl? I need to ask her a
That's
question. Like,
hilarious.
if I did something like, because nobody knew my name really at first. Like, you're brand new to a company, not everybody knows your name, remembers your name. They're like, hey, where's that electrician girl? Did she do this? I got to ask her a question.
That's hilarious.
And so then it transformed
And you just ran
into,
with it.
I did. And so that electrician chick just fit perfect. And
that's
it's still,
literally
I mean,
making lemonade with lemons. You
Yeah.
know? You just ran 100% with it.
It just,
you just owned
happened.
I love that. I love that. But it's funny because, once again, you came into it not thinking, you came into the trades not thinking, I'm going to be a social media star from it. It's
No,
just
I
a
didn't.
compliment that came.
I just wanted to share my authentic journey
Ooh.
in case somebody else was feeling like they wanted to join the trades, or what does an apprentice do?
Like a behind the scenes.
Yeah, like I go in and I'll take a few minutes of content every day of whatever I'm working on. It doesn't matter if I'm roughing in boxes or pulling wire or I'm on a lift, or it really doesn't matter. I could be doing the simplest thing. I just try to take authentic content once or twice a day for a few minutes and then post it on lunch or, when I get home after dinner, just to give people an idea of what it's like to be an apprentice in the trades. Because am I doing the most, intricate, crazy installs all day long? No, I'm not. I'm not doing anything that's really, that exciting, but it's real. And it's what a real apprentice is going to do when they join the trades. So if you want to know what it's like to join the trades, watch my stuff.
And what I love about that, once again, not only do you speak from your experience, not only do you advocate, but then you try to help motivate, you try to help by leading by example. So not only did you jump into the trades because you wanted to learn it, you looked at the longevity, then you started working in the trades. Now you're going to the next step and now you're encouraging others.
Yeah.
So now that you have this platform and everything started blowing up with that electrician chick, and you started seeing, oh wow, people are interested in what I'm doing, people are interested in what's really behind the scenes when you come into the trades. You have a platform now and you want to keep giving.
Yeah.
Because you see the fruitage of your labor for yourself. And that leads to your accountability.
Yeah, I want to give people the opportunity to feel what I have felt in my life because of joining the trades.
Yeah, and it's not just by words, but it's also by action.
It created such a solid foundation for my family to grow on that we didn't have before I joined the trades. It wasn't there. I didn't have the self-confidence and the self-respect before I joined the trades. Now, there's a whole lot of stuff that I don't tolerate in my small circle anymore because I have that self-worth, that value that I place on myself because I know what I'm capable of physically and emotionally. So, and I think it started a little bit too when I did start my social media page. Jonard Tools was my very first ambassador deal.
Oh, wow.
They saw my page and they reached out and they said, hey, we have our ambassador program. If this is something that you would be interested in, please, feel free to apply. I jumped on and applied that same day.
Too funny.
And I've been with them since December of 2021. Or I'm sorry, 2022, because I actually started in the field in the summer of 2022.
Wow. I love that. Now you're trying to give back. So sorry.
Yeah.
You have a small group on your social media platform on that electrician chick.
Yes.
The accountability group.
My goal getters group.
Your goal getters group.
Yep.
And what's origins, mission, where is it standing right now?
So I guess it was in 2023. I read a book called Blue Collar Cash by Ken Rusk.
Okay.
And in his book, it points out another statistic that not a lot of people set goals. And not only that, but an even smaller percentage of people who do set goals actually write them down. Okay. So 4% of people are goal setters. Like 4% of our population, our people,
life world
are actually thinking about their future, and they're setting goals, and they're like, okay, I want to do this. This is something that I want to do. Only 4%. Well, if you think about that in terms of a financial relation, what do we all talk about? Oh, the top 3%, the top 4% of people who earn the most money in their lifetimes. So I've always been a goal setter my whole life. It's just something about, I really want to do this, and then I set my sight on that goal. And sometimes I would make a vision board, sometimes I would just journal about it, but like I've always been that person that believes if you continue to keep your focus on that goal that you've set, you can achieve it. I mean, there's not a whole lot that I've told myself I'm going to do this in my lifetime, and I haven't done it. Now, have I done things and been like, I guess this wasn't for me, I'm going to go do something else?
Yes.
Yes, but I still achieved that goal. I didn't give up. I didn't just, never mind, I'm not going to do this.
To this day, I say that all the time. I haven't seen somebody who's genuinely passionate about something who didn't get it.
Yeah.
It's one way.
So
I with my friends, we always joke around. It's like, we always say, like, for example, with the school we're trying to build, and we're like, I don't know how we're going to do this, but we're going to figure it out.
Yeah.
And then the other thing that always comes up, it's like, hey, we have to do this. And what I love about our group also, we always have devil's advocate. So if I say this, I want somebody to argue with me. I don't want everybody to have the same idea.
Yeah.
Because now we're not foreseeing everything that. So if I say, hey, I need a roll of 6, my buddy will be like, but why? Or what if it doesn't happen? And it's like, no, it's going to happen. So you want to have, so you can see all perspective. But I agree with you that I haven't seen somebody who were so dedicated and passionate, and not just by words, actions, and they didn't get it. That's the beauty about it.
So my goal setting group, that's what the group is for, is to provide an environment where you are encouraged to follow your dreams, go after your goals, write them down, look at that notebook. You know, at first, when people first get started, if they say like, no, I've never been a person who writes my goals down, I try and tell people for a whole month, keep that notebook by your bed and look at it every single morning when you wake up, so that it's the first thing you see, because then going through your day, you're going to have your goals in the back of your mind.
Yep.
And it's all the small actions that lead up to the big overall picture.
Yeah.
So, and I also realized that not everybody has encouragement within their inner circle. You have too many of those devil's advocates where you tell someone your goal and they're like, oh, that's not going to work. And it can hurt. Your inner circle is supposed to be people who care about you. They want to see you grow. They want to see you succeed. Not everybody has that encouraging inner circle. So then it's like, how do you make those hard choices to say who you're going to discuss your goals with, who you're going to discuss your future plans with? If you want more from your life and in your life, you have to surround yourself with people who already have what you want.
I like that.
So my goal getters group, like, I don't necessarily make anything out of it, but it feels good to help other people, even if it's just keeping them, you know, encouraged, or providing, you know, a little bit of my own personal experience as to how I removed some of the people from my life who weren't supportive, because I've had plenty of that. And a lot of those people are no longer a part of my life, because I realized how toxic that environment was to my success as an individual.
Yeah.
I don't want people in my life who don't want me to be happy or to succeed or to follow my dreams. I have no room for that.
Yep.
I need people who are happy to see me grow.
Yeah.
So that was where the goal group came from, and it's been really great to receive those text messages and those DMs from people when they've achieved their goals.
About that. Do people actually
just
tell you like, hey, this is what I'm doing?
Yeah.
Or do they say, hey, this is my goal for the day?
No, not necessarily that, but because I leave that's a personal thing. You don't have to share anything with me. But I've had people reach out and say, hey, you know, 5 months ago or 6 months ago when I joined your group, I set my goals, and I just wanted to let you know that I reached that goal. Like I passed that test, or I earned that certification, or you know, I did this thing in my life, and I just wanted to let you know that you encouraged me, and I wanted to thank you. And it just like brings such a moment of, you know, gratitude for me, because I do love helping people. It feels good to be a positive influence on other people's lives, because I've been in those dark places where you don't feel like you're not where you want to be.
And what still hits me like is like 7 years ago, the guy said, help me with these boards. Like, you don't understand, like if you break, that was it. That was probably your defining, one of your defining moments.
Yeah, that was the pivotal moment.
You understand how one phone call
changed my life.
Changed that life, and now you're passing that on to somebody else.
Yeah.
It's not a phone call, but with that group.
Yeah.
So who knows that one action in 5, 7, well, you already said people 5 months ago saying, look, I got my certification. Just wait until 5, 6, 7 years like you.
Yeah.
What that other person's going to do.
And it doesn't have to be goals in the trades. Like I also
it's just
talk
life.
I talk about setting, you know, personal goals and professional goals, so that you're not solely focused on work. Like we need to have that work-life balance. Yeah. Some of your goals could be, oh, I want to be you know, a healthier eater. Like I've had people share with me that they wanted to lose weight, and then they texted me 3-4 months down the road and they're like, hey, I just hit 50 pounds that I lost. And I'm like, oh my gosh, that's amazing. Like, and one small act of encouragement could have been what helped them get over that hurdle of why they weren't able to do it before.
Just like your one phone call.
Right. And to have those 2 guys that I worked with for 4 years be encouraging to me, like, that was huge. Mm-hmm. One of the guys that I worked with called me for an electrical question a couple of months back. He's like, hey, I have this going on in my house and this is what's happening. And within 15-20 minutes, we had his problem solved. And he's like, hey, thanks, I appreciate that. It was such a turn of the tables moment. Like, neither one of us ever really expected it, because I've been asking him questions for 7 years. And now all of a sudden, here we are. But it would never have happened without his support.
I love that. It is funny how things come full circle. Like, I know before I told you my experience with Rudy, how it started with him telling me, like, not interested, no thank you. And then now we have a rapport where it's like, if I don't call Rudy, he calls me and he's like, hey, bro, what's up?
Yeah.
Like, why didn't you call me today? Is something wrong? Did I do something? And I was like, Rudy, what the hell are you talking about? And like, I just got busy. He's like, oh, okay, because you didn't text me today. Yeah. So now from not interested to like, now we're like on a day-to-day conversation. And so it's funny how just life.
Yeah, don't talk about it, be about it.
Yeah. I love that. And you, without a doubt, you're setting that example. Not only for yourself, because you're, once again, you're holding yourself accountable by looking at the trades as something long-term.
Yes.
And then you're making sure you're, without a doubt, all your goals lead to that one goal. Mm-hmm. You're setting the example in your household for your kids. You're setting your example on the platform you have now with others. I really like that. And I think that that's the 2 things that pop up into my head when it comes to you is how that opportunity came out of nowhere, but at the same time, owning that opportunity.
Taking it.
It's like that post we post up. It's like that video we posted the other day where we talked about the difference between accountable and accountability.
Yes.
You can take account of something. You can be responsible for something.
Yes.
Think about a bank account. But do you spend your money frivolously?
Yeah.
Do you just spend it on whatever? Or are you taking accountability of it?
For the
so
bigger,
there's 2 different
for the
levels
picture,
of it. Not only are you taking account, but you're taking accountability.
Are you making the most of the opportunity you're being given? People pray for an opportunity all the time, and then the door literally opens in their face, and they're like, and they don't give it their all. And then you're left with that what if. Maybe I would have succeeded if I had done this. Like, don't if it, do it. because
Yeah.
you'll never know. And that is what kills me, is the never knowing what something could have been if you had given it your full effort.
Exactly.
Because like you talked about, you know, for the next generation coming in, my advice to them is start early. Number one, because me starting at 36, I don't have all those years to build my business or build, you know, the things that I want to accomplish in the trades. I don't have 30 years to do that because I did start later. So start early and give it your all. Be teachable. Don't go in thinking that you know everything just because you learned it once.
Yeah.
There's 5, 10 different ways to do the same task. And just because you learn it one way doesn't mean there's also another way that's acceptable to do it. So be teachable, be coachable, be reliable.
I love that.
You know, be a good employee until you're going to be a business owner. Because then you know what to look for in a good employee. Somebody who gives proper notice when they want to take time off. Somebody who calls out the night before because they're not feeling good, and then, you know, or at least a couple hours before your shift, not 5 minutes after you were supposed to be there, or just no call, no show. I can't tell you how many times that's happened on job sites that I'm on. People just, oh, I don't know where so-and-so is today, they didn't call in. You know,
Once it goes back to the small things.
Yes, being and holding yourself accountable, being a reliable individual. Those things will take you so much further and set you apart from the general crowd.
I love that.
You know, those are just some of the things that I feel like the younger generation needs to hear, because they live in, like, when I started in the workforce, there was no texting.
Yeah.
You couldn't text your boss to not come. You physically had to call. You had to pick up a phone and call and either get them on the phone or leave them a message. Kids don't make phone calls these days. They send a text message. We all do it. But it makes it less personal, which I feel like gives you a feeling of less accountability.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
So, you know, it's the world we live in, but you can still hold yourself to a higher standard and say, I want to be a person that my supervisor can trust, that the owners of the company can trust, to know that I'm out here representing our company with a good rapport.
Yeah, that makes so much sense.
So,
and I think you hit it on the head. You hit it on the head. And especially with the next generation coming in,
there's so much opportunity.
There's so much opportunity, but I feel like, once again, we can only lead them to the water.
Yeah.
Well, I feel like not just society, but like we have, like you said, texting, we have cell phones now, we have social media. So when we say, hey, come into the trades, I feel like we have to do something more, because the traditional, hey, call your buddy, he can give you a job tomorrow.
Yeah.
That's not the reality of it now. Now it's, hey, you have to apply online. Hey, we need 2-3 years of experience. So I'm trying to find ways on how we can keep ourselves accountable. Like, I'm speaking of myself as a contractor.
Yeah.
How can I tailor my approach to now reach the youth, and then understand that their lifestyle is different from my lifestyle growing up? So maybe that's a conversation I want to have with myself, you know, because like we said about with the school and everything, how we want to get them more involved, but we have to literally think about our approach in their perspective. We got to put ourselves in their shoes, because if it's, I think, you mentioned it yesterday, old values,
new methods.
Oh, I wrote that down last night in my book, because it's the same values. The trades have so much to offer. You've seen it.
Yeah.
I've seen it. Many have seen it generationally.
It's
Everybody's seen it.
the backbone of America.
There you go.
Tradespeople built our country.
And now how do we pivot that, keep those values, but tailor it to the youth?
Yeah.
I feel like we're in that little gray area, because education is the same.
Yes.
Hey, if you want to learn a trade, you got to come to us. Hey, you want to go to work? Well, guess what? Most likely contractors are going to hire you off the bat because they're looking for someone with 2, 3, 4 years experience.
And that's where trade school comes in, because like my personal experience with trade school, I went through the program for 9 months, and then I went through the school to find my employment. There's
Oh, wow.
employers that work with local trade schools to find new employees to hire at the end of their, their trade education journey. They have job fairs. It's utilizing the resources that are available to you. Taking a resume writing course, learning how to market yourself properly. Like, it goes so much further than just learning a skill, but it's learning how to join the workforce in an industry that requires you to not just show up. Like, you can't just be a body. You have to be able to say, yes, I can work with my hands. I am capable of lifting this amount of weight. I can do these things physically with my body. It's more than just a computer screen and being taught how to shuffle task from point A to point B. So there's a lot of work involved in getting into it, but the rewards are so great.
I love that. And once again, it ties, and everything you said encompasses you as a whole. You set the example, and now you're pushing others to follow it, not only at work, online, but in your household. That's most importantly. You are truly someone who I appreciate on a personal level.
I appreciate that.
And I just want to see you keep going. You're doing everything that's right, and you're setting the example. Just like what we talked about in the beginning, it's leading by example.
So I have my own goals. I have my own notebook. I have my check-in process that I keep up with myself and my goals. Next year, I'm eligible to get my journeyman card. And then I'm going to apply for the master's program immediately after. I don't plan on stopping. I don't ever plan on leaving the trades to be, a full-time content creator. I just want to show people what's possible when you apply yourself and you put your mind to it, because I'm not your typical, what you would think of an individual looking like when you get into the trades. I'm tiny. I'm a small individual, but you still hold value on a job site with your abilities and your skills that you can do. Like, the community is so diverse in skilled trades. You don't have to be 200 plus pounds and this big, huge, strong, masculine individual, because there's plenty of opportunity and tasks needed to be performed that small people can do too. And it doesn't matter about your gender. It's just, do you have the willingness to get those things done?
I love that.
And be a part of a team that brings a project from start to finish.
If there's one thing that can help the next generation or the current generation, what's that one nugget? Of course, there's so many. And today we talked about so many different things that you've tried, you experienced, and you're succeeding in. What's one thing that you would recommend to the next or current generation coming in?
Follow your heart.
Well, that was the whole story in the beginning. Your passion was, even that it was fashion, it was your passion.
Do something that makes you happy, because I guarantee you that you're going to make a lot more money doing that, because people see your enthusiasm and your passion for what you're doing. People don't want to work with people who hate what they do. If you're doing it for the paycheck, you're probably doing it for the wrong reasons. So I can advocate for the trades because I'm genuinely passionate about the trades. But I can also give advice to the younger generation. Follow your heart. Follow what sets your heart on fire. If it's not the same as what your parents think you should be doing, or your family thinks you should be doing, or your school thinks you should be doing, don't do it. Don't waste your life and then end up like me in your mid-30s going, oh my gosh, I have to change what I do because I'm miserable and I don't know any of these things. And now I'm finally finding my passion. Don't waste those years. Did I learn a lot of valuable education during my years before skilled trades? Yeah, I did. I've been able to apply some of that into my career, but I would be so much further
Yes.
in the skilled trades
And it's not
if I had
knocking.
started earlier.
And it's not knocking anyone, because there
No.
might be somebody in that position right
And it's
now.
never too late. If you're,
Exactly.
if you're
So
not happy,
pivot,
start now.
adjust, take full advantage, look at the longevity.
Yes.
You're an example of that.
There's not another field that will pay you to learn. You have to always pay to learn a skill.
Yeah.
But skilled trades actually pays you to learn, because if you show up at your job while you are learning, you will earn a paycheck.
That's amazing.
And the financial jumps happen quicker. You
Oh
know,
yeah, every 6 months.
Yes, because of your skill level and your ability improving during the time that you're learning, you earn.
Yep.
Based on that tier.
Yep.
So it's not like, oh, I hope I get a raise. It's no, you can expect a raise.
Yep.
So long as you're performing and showing up and learning and holding yourself accountable.
That was one of our most recent posts also. When you come into the trades, it's very low risk. You have to show up, you do your work, but then the money comes in not only with experience, but also the value like you provide.
Yeah.
Additionally, on top of that, the trades is an excellent example of you get out what you put in.
Yes.
If you put in those schooling hours, guess what? You're going to get those certifications.
Mm-hmm.
If you put in the work ethic, guess what? That experience kicks in.
Mm-hmm.
If you do all these little things, like you said, that compound to the big stuff, you're amazing. Truly amazing.
Thank you.
Andrea, I appreciate you. Genuinely.
Thank you for having me. It was
How
a pleasure.
can everybody find you?
I am on TikTok and Instagram, that electrician chick.
Thank you, guys.